So I came across this thread on Hacker 4chan. Chad BTFOs, Harvard gets fired. So this is a story about a man who was suing Harvard after being fired, all because he spoke out against circumcision. Now I haven't had many chances to talk about circumcision here on this channel. However, I am completely and utterly anti-circumcision. I believe it is a human rights violation, it is mutilation, it is violation without consent whatsoever. Now, here we see on YouTube where he hosts his video, Sex and Circumcision, an American Love Story by Eric Clopper. Now, here's what's important to note. Eric Clopper is a Jewish man.
Welcome to my show, ladies and gentlemen. Sex and Circumcision, an American Love Story. That's a bizarre title, huh? We are going to go way, way down into the rabbit hole, unraveling everything you thought was true. There is no unhearing this. Now, I'd ask for you to remember this disclaimer, especially as we approach some loaded topics later about groups that like to conflate almost all criticism with discrimination. I grew up as a Jewish guy in a relatively affluent suburb of Boston, and because I'd like to continue to be an administrator here, I would like to underscore the point that the story you're all about to hear in no way, shape, or form reflects the views of Harvard. You like that one? When he has said, and I quote, "We need to be vigilant to ensure that our campuses remain open to new ideas, that they are places where our members feel free to express themselves. I'm thankful our new president has the integrity to protect my right to express potentially controversial views." America's number one, right? Okay, yeah, that's not a ringing endorsement, but that's okay.
Yeah, leave it to Harvard to be full of non-Americans who can't even say yes. Number one. Shame on them.
Number one, which opened the Pandora's box to all five of these. Now, my story begins where I imagine many interesting stories.
So he's going to go on to lay on his 5 censored facts, walk through it. I'm probably just going to watch this thing and cut everything up and summarize it and kind of go through this with you. Copper's 5 censored facts. Here we go. 1. Rabbis designed and implemented circumcision to damage Jewish children's sexuality. He goes on about how this destroys your glands, this destroys sensations, it desensitizes you. It's basically really bad. Ruins everything, in fact. It's very sickening. Some of you may know about Kellogg. He was a Jewish man, I believe, who, yeah, he did make the cereal. And he was so insane. He wanted people to not self-pleasure anymore. He even played with the idea of selling chastity devices so that men and women could not have any sexuality whatsoever. It's a place of insanity. So this is true. Number 2, American physicians adopted circumcision to damage our children's sexuality. I would say that's true. It's something that changes you forever. It's not ever stopped. And something I personally know, which is deeply disturbing, is that the leftover skin is sold for profit so that it can end up in celebrities' facial anti-aging creams. That single fact makes me so angry and so resentful over this issue that I am honestly surprised this man was able to handle it with such grace. Number 3, circumcision significantly damages you for life. The foreskin is important. Yeah, see, nothing in humans evolves without a reason. Many scientists and medical people, and their infinite wisdom, will say things like, well, you no longer need that organ anymore. It is useless. Only for years later, some sort of use to be found for that organ. Nothing, and I repeat, nothing exists in the human body without a purpose. There's no such thing as a useless part. It will have function, or it will be evolved out. It protects your glands. It contains an extreme number of nerve endings. You're damaged forever. They stole it from you. They stole pleasure, sensitivity. Those motherfuckers. Number 4. The US media continues to feed us the AAP circumcision recommendation, which is a blatant lie, unapologetically motivated by religious ideologies. Yes, this is very much true. Now I'm going to go over 2 facts that should disturb you and should discourage you from ever practicing such a barbaric practice ever again. There's 2 little known facts about circumcision. 1, the pain is so intense and so diabolical. Circumcision permanently alters the male brain. permanently. The brain will forever be changed in both responses to pain and pleasure. Now, I could speak from personal experience. I am desensitized, and it is a fact that drives me insane. In fact, I do believe it is the reason I'm so degenerate in my ways, as are many people. Perhaps there is a correlation to having your brain permanently altered, your body permanently altered, and craving more that you just can't seem to grasp. Now, luckily, I am not like some cases. There are many people out there who were circumcised, who were botched. Some of these people lost their entire appendage. Some of these people were so damaged they could not even have sex. Thankfully, I'm at least functional. Can you imagine being botched in your circumcision? All because of religious people, all because of the misguided perception that it was normal. It is not. It is not normal, and it is not aesthetic. Genitals look weird. Period. I think both male and female genitals are weird looking. Is that why we should cut people up? Is that justification? It's disturbing. And here he lays out reason number 5. Male and female circumcision are identical. And I agree. It would be blasphemous to suggest the unequal idea that it is okay to do one thing to men, but somehow not okay to do it to women. Or that because women is worse, it's okay to do it to men. It is not worse. It is the same. You cost the woman her sensitivity and her pleasure. That's the same thing that happens to men. You alter them forever. That's the same thing that happens to men. I fully support his 5 censored facts. Now, after this speech, after his little presentation, which is fantastic, I suggest you give it a gander. Maybe you could learn some facts and maybe even get some answers. Now, here's the thing. After he made the speech, he was fired from Harvard, and journalists called his rant and his show with facts and evidence anti-Semitic. However, Clopper, although he does claim to be white, white male, admits that he is Jewish. How can a Jewish be anti-Semitic? It's not possible. This is merely a man who's speaking out against a medical atrocity. Let's read his description. To support my lawsuit versus Harvard and get my new book, please go to Clopper.com. Here we go. My show, Sex and Circumcision, an American Love Story, premiered at Harvard University Sanders Theater on May 1st, 2018. 2 days later, the student paper, The Crimson, published an article calling my performance that they did not see a naked anti-Semitic rant. So they accused a Jew of anti-Semitism. Harvard suspended my employment pending an investigation, or more appropriately, an inquisition, which lasted over 2 months. After Harvard's regrettably illicit and illegal behavior during their investigation, they terminated me on pretextual grounds to avoid appearing as censors. I now find myself pinted a $38 billion entity whose extensive purpose of pursuit of veritas, unfortunately, it seemed like they were concerned about their donation stream. So, this guy's speaking the truth, and that's absolutely something everyone needs to hear. It makes me extremely angry that circumcision is popular, that it was done to me, that it's done to others. I will not abide by it. I will obliterate anyone who says otherwise with facts and logic. So a few comments say, Dario Novinik says, what is the most disgusting is that people will not attack any of his arguments, but rather just call him an anti-Semite and try to shut him down. Thankfully, such tactics will not work on a man with this kind of motivation. Kel Henrich Mark says, Harvard fired him because he spoke out against his own people. So much for Harvard. Kevin Kirk says, as a father of 4 boys, I will not allow my sons to be mutilated as I was. It begins with the fathers stepping up and putting their feet down and saying no to everyone that pressures you to do something so horrible. Go says, I want my foreskin back. And unfortunately, without some sort of regeneration discovered for humans, it'll never happen. SatCat says, I still can't believe parents even consider circumcision. It's literally mutilating a part of your body. And that's the truth. That is absolute truth. We should ban it. We should ban it. Martin Marquardt says, we are trying to ban it here in Denmark. Eric, almost 90% of the people here are against it, and there were law proposals being debated earlier this year. The irony is that Jewish groups and individuals are the only ones pushing back against it. It's unsettling to know some people are so attached to such a brutal ritual. So that's the story, my friends. That's how it is. This man who's being age restricted on YouTube, who is suing Harvard, who is going after the people who destroy your genitals. Show him some support. I'll leave a link to his video in the description. Watch the video. See the facts and evidence. Circumcision is a barbaric brutal ritual with zero health benefits and far too many consequences, both mentally and physically, and must be banned. But that's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this subject? I admit I get extremely heated when it comes to this. Let me know what you think. Now, as always, you can support me and my work on Patreon or Subscribestar. You can join for as low as $1. There are different tiers. You can pick whatever you wish. Doing so will give you access to Fight Club, a private Discord server. Be sure to check out my affiliate link as well as follow me on social media websites. Lastly, you can help out by posting videos you think are important or enjoy on social media. As always, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.